cycle counting. So it is what? Periodical counting based on your requirement. So how periodically, day wise or week wise, period wise, how many times you want to count it in a year. So you can do with cycle counting. Mm. But it is not a mandatory counting. That is organization requirement, how they want to maintain on-hand activity between system quantity and physically available quantity. Right. Step one. Define cycle counts. Define cycle counts. Define cycle counts. Navigation, inventory, counting, cycle counting, cycle counts. Inventory, counting, cycle counting, cycle counts. Select your organization. Select new. Select new. Select name as Z. Cycle counts. So here this is my calendar, workday calendar. Here you select adjustment account. Select adjustment account. So in the physical counting, end of the counting process, when I submitted launch adjustment program, where I was selected adjustment account. But here directly I am selecting in the cycle count one. And again here there are three tabs: scope and control, serial and schedule, adjustment, and ABC. Here this is inactive on. Don't select this one. If select inactive on, then this will not work. So latest. Here uh, yeah, after counting the quantity, then how many days are late days? For example, here I selected 2 days. Selected 2 days. Now counting completed something. It is 5th September. Every month I have to count the quantity. Every month I have to count the quantity. So this month, 5th September, counting is completed. Next, when you have to count the quantity? Next month, 4th, that you have to start. But here we given late days 2 days. That means 6th, 7th. From the 7th, again it will count the days. That means next month, so we'll start on some around 6th. So this is what late days. But here you select 0 also, we can select 0. I am not maintaining any late days. So your sequence number. This is for maintaining the year starting sequence number you selected for tag number generation. Some 1000 I selected yesterday. Same. This is nothing but sequence number maintained for the items. You can select any starting sequence number. 100, 1000, 1 lakh, anything. So nothing but these are the tag numbers only. Here, enable unscheduled entries. See, I'm not sure why we have to enable this unscheduled entries. I don't have much information, but you have to enable this one. Then only we'll find the items in account entry form. Otherwise, you will not find those items. And this one is what? Display system quantity. What is this? Display system quantity. What is the checkbox? So snapshot quantity, you can find it. This is the checkbox is not available in the physical counting. So if you want to see snapshot quantity, then enable the checkbox. Here this option is available in different steps in the cycle counting. Here we can enable, so it will default to the next steps. But in the next counting, I don't want to see the snapshot quantity. Then where also you can disable the checkbox. This option is available in two places. Here you can enable, there also you can select it. Right. So if you want to see, enable display system quantity. Snapshot quantity you can find it. So sometimes what will happen, every week they are counting the quantity. Every week they are counting the quantity. Due to some other work busy, here they don't have time to count the quantity physically. But we have to complete that process. How we can complete that one? Instead of counting physically, whatever quantity displayed, same quantity I'll enter as a counted quantity. Getting right what I'm telling you? If quantities are not visible, what you have to do? You must count the quantity physically. But we don't have that much time here. Actually, every week it's take time, 2 days time to complete our counting quantity physically. But this week, due to some other work busy, we can't count the quantity physically. But we have to enter counted quantity. How we can enter? Beside you will find the system quantity. Same quantity you will enter as a physically counted quantity. But it's not actually physically counted. It is system quantity I am entering as a counted quantity. Quickly to complete this counting process this week. Maybe here you can ask, if there is any discrepancy between your system quantity and physical quantity, then how will you come to know? Anyway, next week again you will have the counting, right? Then next week you will go for counting the quantity physically. Then you will find the information if there is any differences between your system quantity and physically available quantity. So this is the purpose they given here, display system quantity. Next, automatic recounts, which is not available in the physical counting. So when normally we will go for recounts, already we counted quantity. Once again I will go for counting. If there is any huge difference between system quantity and physically available counted quantity. But here, if enable the checkbox, maximum recounts I selected to. Tolerance I given 5 plus or minus 5 quantity tolerance. Now in the system available 90 quantity, sorry 100 quantity, physically available 92 quantity. Now here difference is what? 8 quantity. This is the quantities out of tolerance quantity. Immediately system it will not allow to the approver take the action approve or reject. System it will suggest to the approver go for recount automatically. Once again they counted. Still quantity is out of tolerance. Again system it will suggest to the approver. Once again you go for recounts. After that also, that means third time they counted. Third time also on hand is same. 100 and 92. That means 8 is different. Now it will allow you take the action. Approver can take, approve or reject. So this is what recounts. Right. Automatic recounts. Only one time I'll select. Here, all sub inventory, specific sub inventory. This option is same in both physical inventory and cycle counting. But here, I'll continue with all sub inventories. Why? For the physical counting, I defined one specific sub inventory, some specific items. I tested physical counting. But here, we can continue with all sub inventories, not a problem. Any reason behind this? In the physical counting case, you have to count all items. Then only system it will allow you adjusting quantity. But in the cycle counting, whatever items you counted, immediately you can adjust quantity for those items. No need to count, no need to wait until counting all the items, whatever items are available. Due to that reason, so I am continuing with all sub inventories. Getting right point here. Okay. Next, serial and schedule. Serial and schedule. Here, serial account. One per request, multiple per request. So here, discounting first will submit the request. So directly in the physical counting, after defining the counts, immediately you can start counting the quantity. But here first you have to run the request set. That is what cycle count, full cycle count something. That is request name. If you run that request, you want to count only one time or multiple times. So you select this multiple per request. I'll show you that request. Here you can find it. It's a name, perform full cycle count. This is the name of the request. Without submitting this request, so system it will not allow you start the counting. So first you have to submit this request. Then only system it will allow you. When submit this request, how many times you want to count it? One time if completed, again once again you have to run this program again if you want to count it. So if you select here multiple per request, not required, no need to submit again and again, it's not required. And detail, this option is available again, similar kind of option available in the physical counting also. Display serial numbers. Quantity, see already I shown you here display system quantity. Here also option is available. You want to see only quantity or along with quantity you want to find the serial numbers, select quantity and serial numbers. In the count entry form you will find the system quantity, as well as if you want to see serial numbers you select both quantity and serial numbers. Then adjustment, review all adjustment, adjust if possible. So here I am selecting review all adjustments, meaning even within the tolerance also I'll go for review. For example, 192, we selected tolerance 5. Now this is what out of tolerance. Anyway, I'll go for review. Even 198, difference is 2. This is the quantity within the tolerance. Even though I'll go for review. So here I'll select review all adjustments. Display, allowed, not allowed. Discrepancy, sorry. Discrepancy, system has to allow approve. If you select not allowed, system it will not allow approve that discrepancy. Select allow. Next, auto schedule. Auto scheduling meaning what? Next time automatically system it will suggest you on which date you have to start the counting. If not enable this one, manually you have to decide when you have to start again counting. So let me enable this one. Frequency, periodically. Daily you want to count it, or weekly you want to count it, or by period you want to count it. Let me select by period. If not enable this one, next counting date system will not calculate. That you have to decide manually. Here count zero quantity. So this is option is available in physical counting also. Exclude zero balances. If there exclude zero balances, if enabled, that system will not consider which are the items having zero or not. Here, if you want to consider which are the items are having zero balance, you have to enable checkbox. Count zero quantity. Now next date, system will generate. I'll show you later this one. Once submitted request. Next, go to adjustments and ABC out of our tolerance. Here quantity variance percentage wise. So 2 percentage adjustment value. You can select both. Value wise you can go for approvals, or quantity wise we can go for approvals, or hit or miss analysis. This is the new option is available. That means it's the option is available only cycle counting, which is not available in the physical counting. What is the hit or miss analysis percentage? Actually here, let me select 5 quantity plus or minus. Now in the system available 100 quantity, physically available 94 quantity. What is the difference? 4, which is available within the tolerance or out of tolerance? Within the tolerance. Now here I'll select the 3%. Here I'll select the 3%. Now here I'll in the same way, in the system available 100, physically available 98. What is the difference? 2 quantity. If there is any 2 quantity, that means 2%. Now if in the 100% is 2%. If it is 2%, I'll not go for any analysis. For 2, 4 also it is within the tolerance. 2 also it is within the tolerance. 4 is, it is more than the 3%. More than the 3%. Even the difference within the tolerance also I'll go for analysis. Why it is missing? If less than 3%, I'll not go for any analysis. Immediately, anyway, we'll go for approvals. For 4 quantity, I'll go for approval, and 2 quantity, I'll go for approval. But for 4 quantity, we decided we are going to adjust the quantity. But we'll have the analysis. Blindly, directly, immediately, I'll not adjust. Even within the tolerance quantity. But 2%. Without analysis, directly, immediately, I'll run the, I'll submit the, I'll take the approvals action. But there is one report is available, hit or miss analysis report. Which are the items having differences more than 3%? Those items only system will list in the report. Which are the items having discrepancy less than 2 or 3%? Those items you will not find in the report. Why system is showing these specific items? Meaning those items, for those items only I will have the analysis. Why these items are showing the discrepancy? Next, here you select ABC assignment group. So this is the purpose. Yesterday I defined ABC analysis. Before that, before before start cycle count, we defined ABC assignment group. SZ ABC assignment group. It is required. It's required. So ABC assignment group. Here option. Select re-initialize. Sorry, first time selecting meaning it is initialize. Second time if you are selecting, it is what? Reinitialize. That means we are initiating for counting. So then save the form. Save the form. Just save it. Save the form. System submitted the request. Select OK. Here under this ABC assignment group, how many classes we define? 4. Those 4 classes here you can find it. See here. Yeah. By default we can't find it. So here, yes. What is selected? It is initialize. What is the naming convention we selected yesterday? SZ only, right?
SZ high class, high value, low value, medium value, and normal.
No,
I think it asks to requery. I don't know why it is asking to requery, right? When you change the query to reinitialize, it asks for requery. The record changed. Maybe that is causing not to display the values. Do we need to wait for the
Yeah, it is already available actually. So already selected. So here, so here class wise also you can select it. How many times you want to count it in a year. So tolerances also class wise we can select it here. Directly I selected here. Instead of that, class wise also here we can select it. That's okay. So then already we submitted, right? Once again let me select here. Reinitialize. Record has been updated. Requery. It's okay, fine, not a problem. Then go to, just save it, save the form. Then go to tools, select perform full cycle count. Here there is the hit or miss analysis report which is available here. Perform full cycle count. Here it is requested. Under requested there are 3 programs are there. Generate automatic schedule request. That meaning is what? Next schedule date is what? This program. Here select parameters. Here cycle count. Select your cycle count name. SZ cycle count. So this program I am running for my specific counting only instead of all. And another program is what? Generate cycle count request. Once this program is completed, then only can start. We will start counting the quantity. SZ cycle count. So next one is what? This is equal to tag listing report. So cycle count listing. Starting number we given what? 1 starting number. From there, based on items, system it will generate automatically numbers. Here select SZ cycle count, start date, end date. So end date. So you can update the end date. So it is take 2 days time, 23rd and 24th. Include recounts only No, we continue with no. I'm not sure why exactly it is required. And here sub inventory don't select. Why? Because we are performing for all the sub inventories. Where already we selected all the sub inventory. Even though again here there is the option, if you want to count it in specific sub inventory, you can select it here and display serial numbers, which already we selected here by default. There what I selected, display quantity and serial numbers. This is the reason here it is yes. Now also you can control it. If you don't want to see serial numbers, here you select no. And display on hand quantity. Already I shown you checkbox enabled. Here so here also you can select display on hand quantities no. But here I am selecting yes. Include all items, select all, then it is select OK button. Select button, submit. Submit another request set no. Submit enough. Submit request set OK. Then close this forms. Go to view request, find. Go to view request, find. So here it is open. So here all the programs are running. So this is the request set. These are the programs. Under this request set, these 3 programs are available. Then go to counting, cycle counts, query that counting. So it is what SZ, cycle counting, cycle count. So here again system it will show you none. So now it is completed. Already data everything is complete, collected. And one more thing here, say date is 5th October 2015. So it is what next the system is suggesting you next counting date is 5th October 2015. How it is taken 5th October 2015? 23rd we submitted, 23rd we started counting the quantity, 23rd and 24th. And late days, how much we selected? 0. Late days, okay, 0. Then 5th October 2015. How it is selected, created? What is the calculation behind this? Okay, fine. So now count entries. Next step is count entries. Navigation, inventory, counting, cycle counting, cycle count entries. Inventory, counting, cycle count entries. Select your cycle counting, SZ cycle counts. Select button, find. Find all open count entries, select yes. Now here select which are the items you counted one by one. So SZ item 1 sub inventory. In which sub inventory counted this quantity? In physically in which sub inventory counted, you select that one. So this selected SZ physical sub inventory. Huh? Which one? That one item on hand we can maintain in multiple sub inventories, right? Here now I selected all the sub inventories, counting quantity in all sub inventories. One item quantity I can maintain in multiple sub inventory. Now you counted from which sub inventory? That you have to select here. So then how much quantity? Here if you want to enter system quantity, if not counted really physically, then you can go to count references. Here there is the, if you are not counting physically, directly go to adjustments. Here as it is enter the 1000 quantity. This is what system quantity. It is snapshot quantity. Why? Because we enabled display system quantity checkbox. But here we, instead of entering directly system quantity, my counting people they counted physically. So that is the reason here I am entering 800 quantity. Physically available 800, so we entered 800. I don't know what is the system quantity. Why? Because we are not enabled the display system quantity checkbox. Select likewise which are the items you counted. SZ underscore item 2. Sub inventory is same. This is the lot item, lot controlled item. Under this lot, some quantity available. It is what? 200. It is 200. So I'm not checking what is the system quantity. Directly whatever physically counted, that I entered. Likewise, whatever items you counted, you select it one by one. Now only I adjusted for 2 items. Then save the form. Save the form. Sequence number, some number it is generated. So this already system generated for all items. This is defaulted when I save it. Then close this form. This one is who is counted, when counted. This information you can find it here. Then close the form. Next, approve counts. See here, only partial items we counted, not all items. Counting all items, it is mandatory in physical counting. Here it is not mandatory. Approve counts. Navigation. No, that already system generated. Some number already allocated for this item. Approve counts. Navigation. Inventory. Counting. Cycle counting. Approve counts. Approve counts. See, normally we'll approve for only counted items, not for all items. Right. Select your cycle counting. Select button find. And in the physical counting, you will find what? None, approved, rejected. You will not find recount radio button for the physical counting. For the cycle counting only, you will find the recount radio button. Select button find. Query counts pending approvals only. Select button yes. What happened? Here you have to select approvals only. No, we have to select button no. Then see, System quantity was 700. For the item 2, difference is 500. Why? Because physically counted quantity 200. We entered 200. Difference is minus 500. It will show you positive also when system in the system quantity less, physically available more. Now here we entered both less than the system quantity. It is showing in negative. So system quantity 700. Now see, automatically system it is showing, suggesting you recount. Why? Automatic recount we enabled and selected one time. One time. So this is what quantity it is out of tolerance. This difference is. If within the tolerance, it will not ask you go for recount. So once again, I have to go for. So now it is recounting enabled automatically. Huh? You can't directly. It will not allow. You must go for one time recounting. That is the option we enabled. Once again, you enter the quantity sz underscore. So here enter the item. Select yes. So here once again you enter it. Again we enter quantity is same. In recounts also, item 1 available 800, item 2 available on hand 200. Same quantity available. So then save the form. Once again you go to approve counts, select SZ, select button find, select here. Now see it is in none. It is not automatically suggesting go for recount. One time only we selected, it is suggested. If you want to select again, if you want to go for recount again, you can select, manually decide it. But here we counted couple of times, on hand is same available, so I am adjusting, I am selecting up, then select button, save the form. We adjusted. That means our approver accepted after taking some actions, analysis. Then only they will take the approve action. Directly they will not take the action in real time. So now system is generated one request for adjustments. Select, okay. Then close the form. So now you find the on-hand availability. Earlier it was on-hand what? Item 1 it was 1000, item 2 700. Now we entered for item 1 how much? 800. For item 2 200. Same on-hand I have to find in the material workbench window. On-hand availability, sub-inventory, SZ underscore physical sub-inventory, select button find, see what happened here. Item 1 earlier it was 1000, now it is 800, updated. Item 2, what was on hand earlier? 700, now it is 200. So this is what cycle counting. So next fifth, it is systems suggested. Again, you will go for counting on next month fifth. This is periodical counting. So this is what cycle counting. Their accuracy methods. Those comes under flexi-fields. Inventory, flexi-fields. Already we discussed flexi-fields in HRMS. Okay. Okay. We automated, right? Hmm. Hmm. I'm not getting what you are asking. Now we submitted. System is suggested you next counting date 5th October. Next, what you are asking? Uh, uh. It is enable mode. Enable mode. You can select manually next count date. So actually, we are system suggested you have to start counting 5th October. Due to some reasons, resources not available counting. If you want, you can update the next count date, not a problem. That is enable mode actually, that field, not in grayed out. I'll show you that one. Counting, cycle counts. System suggested date, anytime you can update. So actually we have to start on 5th, then you select 10th. Please enter period start date as a by manufacturing calendar. Something. Anything. What is the manufacturing calendar date? What is there? Same only, right? Okay, fine. Start date as it defined by your man. November, October. Sorry, here it is changed. November, not November 2, right? That's okay, completed status. But if I want to change the date, next count date, 5th October 15. Reinitialize. Uh, Manufacturing calendar, nothing but here inventory calendar only. Start date, start day. It's okay. Here manufacturing calendar, nothing but in discrete manufacturing and also process manufacturing. Discrete manufacturing and also process manufacturing. Same calendar you will maintain as a inventory calendar as well as manufacturing calendar. But in discrete manufacturing, cost calendar also same. Same calendar I'll use for inventory transactions, manufacturing transaction, cost transactions. But in the process manufacturing, cost calendar will be different. But there separately will not define any manufacturing. Maybe something it is showing different. I have to check it even. I don't know. I'm not sure why it is showing. We'll see later for this one. Okay. Yeah. Next, flexi fields. Inventory flexi fields. So already we defined, discussed flexi fields concepts in HRMS. Job flexi field, position flexi field, some like 6 flexi fields are we defined in HRMS. And another flexi field, accounting flexi field, we defined in general ledger. So in the same way, 7 flexi fields are available in inventory. 7 flexi fields are there in inventory, but not available flexi. That means that to here, flexi fields are 2 types. One is key flexi field, another one is the descriptive flexi field. So here, key flexi fields only mandatory. Descriptive flexi fields are not a mandatory flexi fields for application. So here, key flexi fields that already we know what is the flexi field in the form based on your client requirement, business requirement, how many fields you want to maintain. So we can develop, we can design, we can maintain that fields by defining this flexi field. That concept already we discussed in detail in HRMS. Here in inventory, write it types of flexi fields. Not only here, in the Oracle e-business suite, available 2 types of flexi fields: descriptive flexi field and key flexi field. Earlier we discussed only key flexi fields. Here we are going to have a discussion on descriptive flexi fields also along with KFF and DFF. Flexi fields are 2 types. One is KFF, another one is DFF. Key flexi field and descriptive flexi field. See, in all the applications you will find the DFFs. In HRMS also you will have the DFFs. In general ledger also available DFFs. And order management available DFFs. Purchasing also available DFFs. Receivables, payables also available DFFs. But KFF. Key flexi fields are, what are the key flexi fields available in purchasing module? What are the key flexi fields available in order management? So this is the interview question. Only key flexi fields are available in inventory module, not available in order management and purchasing. But DFFs are available in the purchasing module and order management. But see, this is just to confuse the candidate. They will ask you direct question. Tell me, what are the key flexi fields available in purchasing? Not available. Out of this, in receivables also available. In receivables also available. But here I am talking about in supply chain management and discrete manufacturing. In SCM, discrete manufacturing modules, key flexi fields are available only in inventory module, not available and in other applications. In receivables, I think available key flexi fields in receivables. I am not sure. In the payables are not available. So anyway, they will ask question for the purchasing and order management. Tell me some flexi fields for purchasing. Directly you answer, not available any flexi fields in purchasing. Available flexi field, key flexi fields available only in inventory. So list it. Key flexi fields. What are the key KFFs are available? Already one KFF we discussed in inventory. What is the name of KFF? Stock locators. Already that we defined. List it one by one. First one, system items. System items. Second one, item categories. Item categories. Third one, item catalogs. Item catalog. Fourth one, stock locators. Stock locators. Fifth one, Account aliases. Account alias. Account alias. Next one, sales orders. Sales orders. Next one, service item. Service item. So these are the flexi fields available. Again, this is another important interview question. Tell me what are the key flexi fields available in inventory. So you listed first top 6. So no need to list this 7th one. It is CRM related. But even though you have to define in inventory only. Even if you list or if not listed, it's not matter when asked question. What are the key flexi fields are available? But you have to list it above 6. So already one completed stock locators. And one thing in implementation, so they will ask a question in interview. Tell me what are the prerequisites to required to define an item. To define an item, what are the prerequisites required from front end or back end? What are the setups required? Now I want to define an item. What are the setups required? You tell me. Now we are at end of the inventory module. You tell me what are the prerequisites required to define a item. Sub-inventory is not a mandatory. Sub-inventory is required to create a material transactions. To define a item. Item master organization. Then one inventory organization. But before that, you have to define this system items key flexi field. Here we are using vision instance, that means practice instance. That is the reason already this system items key flexi field is existed. One you will maintain at server level, that is applicable for all the business or business groups across the item master organization. But in the fresh instance in implementation project, so along with this item master organization, inventory organization, first you have to define the system items key flexi field. Then only you can define the items. Right. And okay. If you want to create material transaction, okay, to define item, I'll define the system items key flexi field. To create material transaction, what are the prerequisites required? Huh? So those anyway we can use seeded. One thing is sub inventory, another one is item categories. Item category is important. Without item category, so you can't create any material transaction. But again, there are two types: default item category. Another one is it's a inventory item categories. Default item category and inventory item categories. Default item categories meaning whenever you define an item based on the functional areas will maintain one default category. Whenever I define that item, immediately this category will assign to the item whenever you define the item. No need to assign manually item category to the item. But if you want, you can assign manually, it's not a problem. But maintaining default item categories, it is mandatory. When you can maintain item default categories, when you define a flexi field item categories. Without defining flexi field item categories, we can't maintain default item categories. Another one, item catalog. Is it mandatory to maintain inventory module? Again, they will ask question in different way. Tell me, out of the 6, what are the flexi fields you have to define mandatorily to maintain the inventory module. So mandatory this system items and item category structure that must be available. Segments you have to define, but for the remaining no need to define the segments, not required. Say stock locators. I'm in my organization. I'll not maintain any stock locators. Why you have to define the segments? It is not required. But system items, item category. For these two, you must maintain the segments. For the remaining, it is not required to develop the structure. Fine. Okay. I'll tell you one thing. I'll ask you one here. Here in one organization, one client, they are maintaining the items naming convention, code combination, part code, part number, part description. So now, how many fields here you have to maintain? 3 fields. One is for code, one is for number, one is for description. But if you know in the seeded existed setup, something here I am entering, immediately if I am tabbing, it is changing to next field. Here how we can enter, how we can manage part code. That means part code, my code start with RM, FZ, PM, SR. My part code start with my naming convention. RM meaning raw material. Raw material, all the raw materials start with RM. Finished goods start with FZ. Packing material start with PM. Service item start with SR. Then some number I'll maintain. Then I'll maintain some description. So here only we can enter one field, some information. We can't maintain. So likewise, what it is our requirement. So then how we can meet this requirement? So this is what fields are different from one business to another business. When fields are required to maintain from one business to another business, concept is flex field concept. Here, if already flex field functionality existed, then only we can meet this requirement. That means what? Separately, I want to maintain a database. System has to store part code in one column, part number in one column, description in one column. When it is possible, when you maintain the different fields from the front end. When fields are mapped with backend columns, then only it is possible. So when we can make it this mapping when FlexiField concept is existed. So this is the FlexiField name is system items. System items. Here let me show you. Here go to tools, copy from. There is the item. This is the field name in the item LOV. If I select here, there is only one field is available. This is the field, it is the flexi field. It is a seeded flexi field. Now I'll show you how we can define fields as required to define an item. Continue define system items key flexi field. Define system items key flexi field. Navigation inventory. Define system items key flexi field. Inventory, setup, flex fields, key segments. See, in interview they will ask you question in different way. I have business in India and China. Item I want to define with this code combination. what? Item code, number, description in English, description in Mandarin. Then how you can meet this requirement? Hmm? This only here I'll define 4 fields. One for code, one for part number, one for English description, one for Mandarin description. Select F11, enter system items, which is already available. Existed one only I am going to update. First disable this one if you want to update. See here always you can define only one key flexifield structure even if maintaining n number of business groups. We can't maintain, but job, position, accounting flexifield we can define based on our requirement. N number of structures we can define. Huh? That also key flexifield. Some of the key flexifield you can define n number of structures, but some flexifields you can always maintain one, like system item, stock locator, sales orders. Select button segments here. Now you select one by one. SZ underscore pod code column segment 1. How many segments are there? Totally 30. 2. SZ underscore pod number segment 2. 3. SZ underscore description in English, something I am defining, segment 3. 4. SZ underscore description in Chinese language, segment 4. Now onwards, always you have to define your item with 4 fields. Earlier we are defined all items with only single field. Save the form. Then enable freeze flexifield definition checkbox. Select button, compile. Compiling flexifield definition. Okay. Then select. Okay. Once that request is completed, go to view request, find. So that already this concept already we discussed. Now I am talking about system items, but whatever earlier we discussed flexible concept, that is same. It is running. Once this program is completed, yes, segments anytime you can change. Now I am storing in segment 5. Now onwards I want to store in segment 6. We can do it. Completed. Now see. So how earlier I was defined items, in the same way if I try to create item, it will not allow now. Why? Because here there are 4 fields are there. Now here you have to define what? Part number, raw material, sorry, part code, some number, description in English, in Chinese some description. Now one item I am defining with 4 fields. This is the naming convention they are following in their item catalog. So select, okay. Now then go to tools, apply the template. Clear, right? So earlier here available only one field. Now available 4 fields to define a item. So that in another way I shown you flexi field, right? Here item. So what was the earlier? What was the field available here? Only items. Now here you can find 4 fields. Meaning is what? Your items maintaining with 4 fields. This is the system items key flexi field. One item I am defining with 4 fields. Yes, only items. Only items. Earlier I was defining item with one field combination. Now onwards I am going to define item with 4 fields combination. I am not. So if you don't want, then you can disable, or you can make it optional. That also I have shown you, right? How we can make it optional in stock locators. We can make it that. So once again, let me update how earlier it was. Flexi fields, key segments, system items. No, it is requirement completely. Say client, they will maintain the catalog, right? Item, it contains the items. How they are maintaining serial number, part description. Based on that only here I developed fields. Yeah.
Sir, one question here.
Yeah, tell me.
So, like accounting flex field, so we have like a balancing segment and all, right? The qualifier.
Yes.
We are assigning, but here, what kind of qualifier we are assigning
Not
to
required.
particular?
Qualifiers not available for all the flexi fields. Qualifiers available for some of the specific flexi fields. That is, one of the flexi field is accounting flexi field. Not available for all. Okay. Earlier it was only. Tell me. Anytime you can change. You will have the data in segments. In the backend, you will have the data. Data it will not happen. Till now, data storing in segment 1. Then after stores in segment 2. If you query select star from table name, you will find the data in segment 1 and segment 2. But not same. Earlier items information you will find in segment 1. Now onwards, what are the items are defining? You will find the data in segment 2. But you will find the data. Data will not delete. It is not required. It is dynamically entry. If you want to, you can define the value sets also, not a problem. But normally, value sets will not maintain for system items. Item segment 1. How earlier it was, in the same way again I am updating. Then enable the flexi field, select button, compile. So earlier 4 fields were there, right, in the item creation form. Now you check it. Items, master items. Here available again 1 field. This is what system items. If people clear or not why this is requirement behind what we discussed. See, always all the organization, they will not maintain one field to maintain the naming item naming convention. Based on their requirement, they can maintain the multiple fields. Yes. Now again, if you go to there, you can find it's same only one field. Yeah. Here also earlier it was 4, right? Now we will find the 1. This is important concept in implementation. Very, very important concept in implementation. So actually, we have to, very beginning of the inventory module, we have to discuss this concept. Without discussing this concept, we started defining the items. Why? Because of reason behind this. If I start there, you will have the unnecessary confusion. End of the module, definitely will have the better understanding than the discussing before the starting of the inventory. Only that is the reason. But in implementation, if you are working as a inventory consultant, after defining the inventory structure, first you have to start defining system items, key flexible. Then you have to start defining the items. Fine. Next is what? Hmm. Hmm. Fields means what? Where in the attributes you can control at control form, master or organization. That is attributes already that completed concept. Now only I am talking about flexibility. The control levels are two type levels, right? Organization and master. That already we discussed. That already we discussed. Okay. Next. Next one is define item catalog. Define item catalog flexifield. Define item catalog flexifield. Define item catalog flexifield. Hmm. Where we should not do. Categories case we should not do. We can do, but it is not suggestible. Hmm. Suggestible. See, clearly will inform to the client. So this is once we freeze it, we should not update. Then he will face the problem in future. It is not such a bad accounting key flexible. 100% they should not update anything once we freeze that one. But here we can do it, not a problem. It is not suggestible. Hmm. By mistake also you should not do in accounting. Here even if you do again we can change it, not a problem. We can update it. There is an option with this key flexifields. But with accounting flexifield there is no that option also. Once you freeze you should not do anything. Next is what? Yeah, item catalog. So here the structure is item catalog, item categories, items. This is the structure. Top level is item catalog. Next level is item categories. Next level is items. This already everything is existed in the application. That is the reason we are managing items defining and creating the items. But in implementation, first you have to concentrate on the item catalogs, item categories, and items. Items we know what are the items you are physically storing. Those are the items. Maybe sometimes service. Those are the items or service also. This is the item. What is the item catalog? What is the item category? What is the item? Group of the items are similar kind of items. Similar kind of items. I'll keep it one category. It is what? Item category. What is the item catalog? Huh? List of items. It is item category. It is what? Catalog nothing but it's a book. In the book you will maintain the categories. In the categories you will maintain the items. It is item catalog. It is item catalog. In the item catalogs will maintain the categories. Under categories will maintain the items. Here see, in the restaurant, best example is whatever menu they given, it is item catalog only. When you open item catalog, you will find the categories. Very beginning of the category, starters. Starters is the one item category. Under starters, you will find the what? Items. Next is what? Soups. Soup is the one item category. You will find the soup items. Next, some curries, biryanis. These are all item categories. In one organization, will you maintain more than one item catalog? We can maintain. So again, you take the example, this example only. One is food menu, another one is the beverages menu. So in the beverages menu, you will find the different categories. Under categories, you will find the items. So in one organization, as required, we can maintain the number of item catalogs. Under catalog, will maintain the categories. Under one category, will maintain the items. So, but maintaining item catalog, it's not a mandatory, not required to maintain after defining the item. Managing association between this item and catalog, it is not a mandatory. But maintaining association between category and item, it is mandatory. It is mandatory. Right. Define item catalog, already written, right? Navigation, write it same. Inventory, setup, inventory, setup, flex fields, key, segments. I am not going to define, just I'll show you how they defined already. Segments. Select F11. Select F11. Enter FlexiField title, item catalog. Here already they defined. So same way here, segments, catalog, segment 1. So which is not required actually, then we can remove it, that one also. Then enable the freeze FlexiField definition checkbox, select button, compile. Then save the form, close the form. This is already available. So next, define item category FlexiField. Define item category FlexiField. Now here, how many categories you are maintaining? You have to define all. See, for example, take example, known example, again, hotel menu only. You tell me how we can maintain the, here, I'll tell you, categories are, there are different starters, soups, and biryanis, something. So there I am taking the 3 categories. There under that I'll define the items. Any items directly I'll define in where? In the item form. Now only categories here. So see, now they given menu. Now we are implementing Oracle for one of the hotel, restaurant. They given menu. This is the menu we are following. Then from there, how we can understand, how we can define the this categories, segments. How we can define? Hmm? How we can define segments? Value sets we can define. Yes, here we can use value sets. Values. How? Here I'll take the what? We can take it categories here. So n number of item categories. So it is what? Item category. Item categories. Select new. Select new. sz underscore item category. Select segments. 1 sz underscore sz underscore food type. Column I'll store in segment 1. Second one sz underscore food name segment 2. Then save the form. So define value sets. Define value set sz underscore food type value set list of values character. Here I will follow character. For accounting flexi field, maintain numbers. Character meaning we have to say take some bigger size only. For example, some 30. Right. Save the form. In the same way, sz underscore food name value set list type list of values characters. Here also I am taking 30 characters. Save the form. Now 2 value sets I define. Then close the form. Here define the assign the value sets. sz food type value set sz food name value set. Save the form. Here again only this is the category non-veg biryani. Here items are what? Chicken biryani, mutton biryani, prawn biryani, fish biryani. These are all the items. So that understanding is very important actually here to decide this item categories. So then close this form. Enable freeze flexible definition checkbox. Select button compile. Select OK. Then close the form. Then define values. Define values. Define values. Navigation, inventory, setup, flex fields, validation, values. Validation, values. Same how we defined values for accounting flexi field. Same. But where I taken numbers, here I am taking the characters. Only there is the difference. Value set sz food type. Sorry, food type. First you select food type. select button, find. List it. Here, food type is what? Veg. Description also, if you want, you can select it. Otherwise, you leave it. So next is what? So non-veg. Enough. These two are enough. Maybe here you can select desserts. That also it's a food type, right? And starter, again, two types of starters will maintain, right? Veg and non-veg. That is the reason I am not going to take that. So save the form. Then in the same way you define values for another value set. It is what? sz underscore food name value set. Select button, find. Here it is what you have to write it. So food type, one is starters, another one is soups. So next, biryanis. It's enough. Likewise, whatever they're available in the menu, you list it all. What account type? Then that only. Qualifiers not available for all the flexi fields. Qualifiers available some of the specific flexi fields. It is not required all for all. That is not required here. That is we selected for accounting what? Allow budgeting, yes. Allow posting, yes. Account types. Hierarchy is different again. That hierarchy also not required here. That hierarchy will maintain for accounts again. That is not required here. That much security normally will maintain for accounts, not required this side. Okay, now I define. Right. Now combinations we define. That is, sorry, values we defined. Combinations not yet defined. Now categories. We have to define the category. Structure completed. Only structure completed. Next, continue. Define item category codes. Define item category codes. Define item category codes. Navigation, inventory, setup, items, categories, category codes. Category codes nothing but defining the categories only. See now, till now, what we define the setup, what you understand? We define some setup, right? Related to inventory, categories, key flex effect. Only structure we develop. Only structure we develop. Based on this structure, I am defining the categories. Item category. This is nothing but category codes. That combination, how we can define veg starters, one category. Non-veg starters, another category. Veg biryani, one category. Non-veg biryani, another category. Those are whatever maintaining categories that you have to define now. Categories. Nothing but here, define category codes, nothing but define item categories. Define item categories. Navigation, inventory, setup, items, categories, category codes. Already written, right? So select new, select structure name, SZ, your key flexi field structure, SZ, item category. Now you have to select the combination of category. Select percentage, Here there are two fields are there. These are the segments. Segment 1, segment 2. Under segment 1, two values are there. It is what? Wedge. Another one is some wedge starters. Select. Okay. Likewise, you have to list all the categories. Next one is what? Non-wedge starters. Next is what? Wedge. Next is soup. Next, non-wedge soup. Next, veg biryani. Next, non-veg biryani. These are the all your categories. All are the categories. Under these categories, I am going to list the items. After defining the item, that item I will list under this categories. Save the form. First, before that, we have to list this all categories under catalog, right? So first you define the catalog. Continue. Define. Sorry. So wait. There is another setup is pending here. Define category set. Define item category set. Define item category set. Now I defined categories individually. Category set meaning is what? Under set I list the defined categories. So this category set I'll use for default categories as well as normal categories. Same form only I'll use it. But here I'm not going to discuss what is the default item category set. That we'll discuss in iProcurement module. Okay. Define category set. Navigation, inventory, setup, items, categories, category sets. Anything confusing here? I know you people definitely confuse here. So that is the reason I'm asking you where you are confusing here. Huh?
You are taking all the names of biryani.
Yeah, tell me. Category code nothing but category name. Now I define categories. First we define structure, value sets, values. Based on that structure I defined categories individually. Now I am listing categories under one set. It is called category set. Right? Yeah. Navigation, inventory, setup, items, categories, category sets. Select here name SZ underscore category set. Description also same. Flex structure SZ item category flexible structure SZ item category. Here controlling at master level or organization level. If you select master level, directly this category you can assign to the master level form. If I select organization level, this categories you can't find in the master form. You can find only organization item form. This is what. So I am selecting here organization level. So here altering the categories set maintenance level from master level to organization level will not allow you to change. That is message. From master to org it will not allow. From org to master anytime you can change it. That controlling. Select OK. Default. One you select as a default category. Here select button combinations. In the combinations you can find it till now whatever item categories you defined. Totally we defined this item category, select one. This is default one. Remaining sir. Anyway, this concept is not available here, default one. That is concept is different. One, it is select mandatory. Why? Because it is mandatory. So select allow multiple item categories. That means against one item, we can assign multiple item categories. When it will allow, when enable this checkbox. Now we select remaining one by one all the categories. ఏదో ఒకటి సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోండి default category. Anyone you can select as a one default category set. That meaning is what? Whenever I defined item, system automatically that category will assign to the item. This is the one. It is what? Default item category. Any one, commonly which one you are using, that you select as a default category. Combinations. Likewise, you have to list it all. So here I am listing already defined categories, right? So this is the reason here I can say it is category set. Category set. Now clear, right? What is the category set? Catalog is different. Category set meaning where I list the categories. Their only meaning is there. Category set. Already I defined categories. I am listing somewhere categories. It is called category set. Save the form. So in implementation here it is challenge. Deciding this one. Developing the structure, values, value sets. Here it is in implementation. It is critical stage actually. Defining, deciding these categories. Why? Because I'll think in one way, client will expect in different way. So immediately we can't freeze this setup. It takes time here. Then close the form. Category set completed. Search checkbox allow multiple items. I did not get it. Will allow other category or only this category set. Only these categories it will allow, not other category set categories. Yeah, tell me. Those are what you have to define under food name value set. Under that category, you will list the items. Now here that chain is fast food or South Indian fast food something. Those you have to list under food name value set, not under type. Veg, Chinese, noodles, fried rice. I'll list it. These are the items. These are the items. Okay, close this form. Now value set also completed. Sorry, category set. Next, define item catalogs. Define item catalog. Now I am associating all category, catalog, items. Define. Earlier I was defined only structure, item catalog structure. Now I am defining catalogs. Like food menu, beverages menu. Navigation, inventory, setup, items, catalog groups. items, catalog, groups. Inventory, setup, items, catalog, groups. Open the form, select new, SZ, put menu, SZ, put menu. Likewise, you define another catalog, beverages menu, some other menus. Then select button, details. Select button, details. Here, show. Select categories. Select categories. Select categories. Category set. SZ, category set. Category. Whatever you listed under this category set, here you will find all. For example, here I am selecting biryani. Next, next, something you selected, press starter. That's enough. Likewise, you listed all. Now, what I did under catalog, listing the categories. This is the food menu. That is the book. In the book, you will find the categories. Under these categories, we have to maintain the items. Save the form. Then define item. Define item. Navigation, inventory, items, master, items. Inventory, items, master, items. Something you define. Define item, SZ underscore something, you write it, some items. It is what? Fish biryani. Okay. Select. Apply template. It is what? What type of item this one? Huh? Finished good. It is item is finished good. Again, for this item, you have to define bill work order in the manufacturing module. So select button done. Save the form. So I can't assign directly at master level. Why? Because category set we controlled at organization level. Then assign item to the organization. Save the form. So now I have to assign category to this item, right? You can go to organization item form or directly you can open the organization attributes. Then here I'm in organization level. Here you go to tools, categories. Go to tools, categories. Here, there you select SZ category. Now whatever categories you defined, you can find all. So what you have to select here? Which one? So non-veg biryani. Save the form. So this is what? System items, item categories, item catalog. So now we will have the link between all, right? Categories we listed under catalog. Categories assigned to the item. Now structure is what? Catalog, category and item. So this is the one of the very first setup you have to define in your implementation before going to start creating your material transaction. But we are discussing in the training end of the inventory mode. Why? Because for the better understanding. When enable the checkbox, allow multiple item categories assignment checkbox in the category set. Fine. So here I'll stop the class today. Tomorrow I'll continue. remaining flexibles